By actively serving their communities, Tzu Chi volunteers have established a volunteer network that allows them to rapidly deploy and gather resources in case of an emergency. In today's Tzu Chi 50th anniversary series, we continue to see how Tzu Chi volunteers have been able to quickly lend their assistance and stabilize frightened hearts.
I think at that moment, everyone's heart just fired up. It was as if they weren't serving in the disaster area, then they'd be sorry for themselves.
Within 3 minutes after the 9/21 earthquake, Tzu Chi established a service center. Across the charity's 4 chapters and 14 liaison offices in Taiwan, volunteers were quickly mobilized. In Taipei, volunteers gathered at the site of the collapsed buildings in Xiongsan and Xinzhuang, while volunteers in central Taiwan headed for the hard-hit Dongshi. Thanks to its volunteer network, Tzu Chi was able to quickly conduct large-scale disaster relief in less than a day. Volunteers were even in funeral homes, cataloging the number of the dead, while consoling bereaved family members.
The deceased filled the inside of the funeral home. In fact, because there were so many of them, some were left in the main hall of the home, while bereaved families were worried sick. However, when they saw us, they really calmed down, as if they had found someone close to depend on.
From their respective communities, Tzu Chi volunteers quickly expanded their reaches to cover all of Taiwan.
We conducted our work as we would in our community. First, we prepared ginger tea and hot meals and consoled the victims. We also had to serve in the funeral homes by offering prayer service.
Whenever a disaster strikes, these angels clad in blue and white uniforms will appear. Whatever task one of them couldn't accomplish alone, they will overcome together as a group. And it all starts with serving their community.
When the China Airlines plane crashed in Dayuan that evening, our brothers and sisters from the surrounding area quickly arrived to console family members and help pick up the human remains.
Tzu Chi volunteers always go above and beyond when they serve, which leaves a deep impression in people's mind. They couldn't have made such an impact in just one day. It's through their continuous effort by tackling on what needs to be done.
Disasters come in many different forms, though there isn't an official SOP on how Tzu Chi mobilizes its volunteers. With each event, the volunteers gain invaluable experience that helps better carry out the next mission. When the dust explosion occurred due to the number of casualties, Tzu Chi volunteers divided themselves into teams to console victims and their families in hospitals. Living in Banqiao, Li Jinping also quickly arrived at the Far Eastern Memorial Hospital. Besides offering immediate assistance, volunteers also offer continuous support. 6 months after the accident, Li still visits the victims in their homes.
我们现在要去中玉家哈，4楼嘛哈，4楼。我是锦平。你今日真敢无出去啊？我早你就无用了。歹势歹势，谢谢。谢谢。中玉还没上来。还没上来哦。哦，要去复健。
Zhong Yu's father still recalls that when the family was first notified, no one had any appetite to eat. However, Tzu Chi volunteers still deliver lunch boxes, rain or shine. It is this kind of continuous support that carried the family through the ordeal.
The unspoken love, you can feel it inside. The volunteers were our supply team. At the hospital, we didn't have to worry about food. Eventually, we didn't have to say what we need, and they would know.
都好吗？
还没那么快啦。
我说有没有越来越好啦？
有啊有啊。
有哦。
Even though 6 months have passed, the boys still have to wear pressure garments. Lee knows that during the stage of recovery for burn patients, they need more empathy and support. When recalling the days of lunchbox delivery, it was as if the bitterness had been washed away, and they all couldn't help but break a smile.
Everyone says he has grown taller. Not only did he gain weight, he also grew taller because of the protein in his diet.
卤蛋啦，白煮蛋啦，就
我记得好多白煮蛋那个卤蛋，我一直吃。
After seeing what the volunteers had done for us at the hospital, we feel that they are more than friends, but family instead.
Tzu Chi volunteers offer more than just friendship, but familial warmth. In neighborhoods, big or small, there are numerous Tzu Chi volunteers just like Lee, who extend a helping hand to their neighbors in need. And such warmth can mean night and day in the darkest night and the coldest day. Thanks to the continuous service of these community volunteers, Tzu Chi has grown stronger. When they are needed, the volunteers transform into the 1,000-hand Guanyin, arriving promptly and departing only when the work is finished.